Shalom. Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth, giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, whom I worship. Salutations unto, well, first and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, who are the true leaders of all Israel on earth today. And salutations to the Akim that are out there doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. And to the confusion of face brothers who are joined unto our ranks, who are doing the same. And to you few Akwaf that are actually listening and learning. This is a response video to a video that the elder apostle Tahar did. And it's called Proof That the Lord is Not Dealing with Christians. All right. The Lord is not in those churches, man. And let's get a real basic scripture first to prove that. And let's go to the book of Acts. There's actually two scriptures in Acts that mention it. All right. And this is Acts 17 and 24. And it reads, and I'll read it verbatim. It said, God that made the world and all the things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Okay? So that shooting in Texas proves that the Lord wasn't dwelling in that church, man, for that many people to get gunned down. All right? For that many people to die. And like the apostle said, they went there praying and calling on sweet Cesare, okay? Because the Lord's name is not Jesus, and you Christians been dealt a serious L yet again. And the majority of you think that's your Lord, and it's not. And I'm gonna keep flashing that picture in your face. I know some of you get tired of it, but I don't care. Okay? And the truth of the matter is, this senseless murder was done by yet another Edomite pale male, and the first came out red, right here in America, still not being labeled as terrorists. But you want to call the black identity, the BI, extremists. Extreme because they're tired of with videos of their men, you know, their people with their hands up, surrendering, complying, being beaten to death, being shot. All right. Videos of young girls face down, getting raped from the back by Edomite men while in custody and under their control. You know, just video after video of murder, death, rape, and violation at the hands of you people. All right. Why? Because your media wants to control the narrative, man. And I'm gonna keep throwing that word in your face too, because that's what you do. All right, that's what people like you so-called Christians like to do. People like Vocab Malone, Dr. James White. He's been kind of quiet though, you know. Pastor Anderson. You know, you want to control the narrative. Why? So that you can try to force your point and then try to get around and duck and dodge the truth by changing the whole narrative of the situation, man. All right. You Edomites kill people by the bundle, man. Bundles and bundles. This is a couple things that I wrote down that I'm gonna read. All right. And then you want to write it off as mental illness. All right. Well, when are you gonna come up and realize that, hey, look, well then if all these Edomite men, if there's a serious mental illness in so many Edomite men, males, well, they go out and they'll kill, you know, people up into the double digits, man. Dozens of people at once, man. Maybe it's time to round up all Edomite males and ship them off to ship them all off to Australia somewhere, ship them to some island somewhere, man. Because you can't seem to control them, man. All right? I'm going to name a few things. Facts. Some that has happened recently and some in the past, but they're all mass murders involving Edomite men. Okay? Because Jake, you know, they'll shoot up like all the shooters in Chicago, but Jake roughly kills themselves. They fight each other, but you know, Jake could go rob a house, all right? And it may be a home invasion went wrong. They didn't think anyone was home. They shoot somebody, you know. But Esau robs whole countries, man. Kills millions. All right. Look at the so-called Middle East, man. East Africa. All right. Look at some of those places in Africa, man. All right. That were minding their own damn business. All right. But here we go. First Baptist Church, the most recent one. 26 people killed. The Lord is not there, man. Dylan Ruth went into that black church. You so-called Israelites that calling yourself Christians and worshiping sweet Jeebus. Okay. The Boston bombing, Caucasian males. The Walmart shooting, Caucasian male. Okay. You had those 2 nightclub shootings, and those was and I think the one in Paris, and they were calling them Muslims, but you know, but most people from the Middle East, according to Esau, when they get over here, you categorize them as Edomites, man. You categorize them as Caucasians. So we'll say Caucasians on that one. All right, by your own standards. Okay. Sandy Hook, Edomite males, white men, so-called white men, which was a false flag anyway, but nevertheless, so-called white man. The Walmart shooting recently in Colorado, white man. Okay. Recently the Serbian shooting in New York. Okay. The bicycle, I mean, not the shooting, but the bicycle incident to do with his truck. So-called white man. Okay. Then you had, let's go back a little old school, Jim Jones. All right. Charles Manson, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer. The thing is that I could go on for hours and hours reading lists of murderous white men, so-called. But yet, for some reason, the white male isn't a danger to society. I wonder why. Hey, even the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is supposedly based upon real life events. Okay, that was just a movie. All right. Also recently, the Vegas thing. Okay, and there's all kind of videos of shooters from different areas. There's even a video of a helicopter circling the crowd. You can clearly see the automatic gunfire coming out of a mounted gun on the side of a helicopter. There was muzzle flashes coming out of a 4th floor window when they were saying he was way up on the 30 something floor, man. So Esau, you're just a liar, and you're exposed, and your time is up. More of you are dying than being born. You have an opioid problem, which is killing you. You have a heroin problem, which is killing you. You have a meth problem, which is killing you. Late statistic I heard about 3 weeks ago was almost 100 Edomites a day of dying, falling victim to that heroin stuff. But the reason why these Edomites are killing the way they do because they're wicked, man. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why they're not labeled as terrorists, the real terrorists, because they're the people in charge. Okay. First Maccabees 1:9. All right, and this is speaking about when the so-called white man came into power, when he got dominion over the earth, man. This is Alexander. I'm gonna start at verse 7. So Alexander reigned, First Maccabees 1, chapter 1, verse 7. I'm gonna read to verse 9. So Alexander reigned 12 years, and he died, and his servant bare rule everyone in his place. So those were his 4 generals. All right, each one of them got a portion. One got Egypt. All right, one got Europe, and I forget, the separation, but they all got portions to rule over, man, of the ancient world. Okay, verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon their head themselves, because they aren't royalty; they're fake royalty. So that funny looking family over there in England, that ugly ass queen with them funny looking boys, they ugly ass daddy. All right, they're not royalty. Okay, it says, verse 9 again. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after them. Notice it didn't say the daughters. All right. And so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth, and there came out of them a wicked root. All right. So that sperm line, that pale male Edomite sperm line is just wicked, man. And the Lord is not with you, Christians, man. And let's read some scriptures, to solidify that. This is Isaiah 54 and 17. And it reads, "No weapon formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of Yahweh, and their righteousness is of me, saith Yahweh." All right, you people are calling on Jesus and Jehovah. That's why you have no covering. Well, not only that, the Lord's not dealing with you. He's only dealing with Israel. Next scripture, Psalms 34 and 7. The apostle brought this one out, but I'm going to read it again. This is Psalms 34 and 7, and it reads, "And the angel of Yahweh encampeth around them that feareth him, and delivereth them." Okay? It's as simple as that, man. The Lord is with the Israelites, because only the Israelites fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. All right? You heathens don't, because if you did, you wouldn't call him Jesus. You wouldn't call him Jehovah. And you definitely wouldn't put up that fake image of him, man. You covered up the image of the Lord, so you clearly don't feel him. All right? This is 1 Kings 6 and 12. "Concerning this house which thou art in building, if thou wilt walk in my statutes and execute my judgments and keep all my commandments," all right, "to walk in them, then will I perform my word with thee, which I spake unto David thy father." All right, so the Lord is with the house of David, man. Again, the elect, not all of Israel, because 2/3 of Israel is going to be cut off and die on his side, man. Thus saith the Bible, man. And that's another thing, if you're not coming, thus saith the Bible, thus saith the Lord, you're false and you're a liar. Everything that I've said has been thus saith the Bible, thus saith the Lord in every video I've ever made. Okay? I've never said something that couldn't be backed up by scripture, that I couldn't prove with scripture or history. Okay? Mainly the scriptures. Next scripture is Isaiah 17, verses 12 through 14. This is a good one. And it reads, "Woe to the multitude of people," woe means destruction, "which make noise like the noise of the sea." So all that chanting and singing in churches, or all your false religions and praying 5 times a day facing the east, calling on Allah. Allah is a Hebrew word which means power. It's not a name. That's just like saying God. Okay? It's a title. And it says, "And the rushing of the nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters," all right? "The nations shall rush like rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them, and they flee far off, and shall be chased as the chaff of mountains before the wind, and like the rolling thing before the whirlwind." Them people was running in that church, and they had nowhere to run, man, as they was getting gunned down. Yep. Verse 14, "Behold, at evening trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is a portion of them that spoil us, and a lot of them that rob us." And that's why the Edomites got put to death, man, because they spoiled and robbed us, man. This is all about the Israelites, man. And you're going to learn that if you're not an Israelite, you're already dead, man. You people here in America are the walking dead, man. You're just waiting for the starvation and the fight over food and and literally cannibalism, because there's going to be no food. You're going to eat your animals. All right? You're going to eat each other, man. It's going to get really bad here. It's going to be like something out of a sci-fi or horror movie, man. Okay? Last scripture. Isaiah 45. A lot of scriptures out of Isaiah today. (24 and 25). And it reads, "Surely shall one say in Yahweh, I have righteousness and strength. Even to him shall men come, and all that are incensed against him shall be ashamed. In Yahweh shall all the seed of Israel be justified and show glory. So if you're not an Israelite of the house of David at this time, there's nothing coming to you but death and destruction, man. And you Israelites, you know, you so-called Christians, let this be a warning to you, man, to walk away from that wickedness, man, because Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. Shalom.